Part 2 of Each State Had a Terror, Here's Yours, or whatever they call it. So, fellow Americans, gather round, and, people of everywhere else too, if you care about this stuff. It's time to talk about the potato state, Idaho. Back then, they had a shark that would eat you like a potato. This was the Gila caprion, a 25-foot-long shark that can only be described as an oddball. That buzzsaw-like tooth whirl was made for tearing flesh, so... sorry, Idahoans, or whatever they call you. Illinois, home of the bears. Well, during the Pleistocene epoch, you had a lot worse than bears going on. This is the cave jaguar. It was a North American jaguar 20% larger than modern jaguars. Their legs were longer and their feet were larger than their modern-day counterparts. So, if you think today's jaguars are scary, you do not want to encounter this guy. Now we're headed next door to Indiana, which, coincidentally, is known for its prehistoric bears, not Chicago. Commonly known as the short-faced bear, this is the Arctodus. Basically, a grizzly on steroids. This thing, when standing on its hind legs, measured 11 feet tall. It weighed over a ton and had giant claws. It may have also exceeded speeds of 30 miles an hour, so you're not escaping it. Now let's go to the other side of Illinois and meet Iowa. Congratulations, Iowa, you had this thing. This is the Wachiria. It was an amphibian menace that was the apex predator of its time. It grew up to 6 feet long and ate smaller animals. That's like if a salamander grew some gnarly teeth and had a big growth spurt. Does this artwork make it look cute? Sure, but you're still dealing with an amphibian crocodile, basically. Well, if it isn't the old Super Bowl team, the old Chiefs. I don't know anything about the Super Bowl. I watch it for the commercials. Well, y'all weren't the Chiefs back then. This fish was. Meet the Xiphactinus, also known as the X-fish. It's the big bad wolf of fish, essentially. It weighed up to half a ton, grew up to 20 feet long, and had the jaws of a bulldog. That's a big no thank you for me. And we have fossil evidence that it could eat anything it got its mouth on, like small mosasaurs and pterosaurs. But this fossil right here is proof. That is a Gillicus fish inside the Xiphactinus's belly. Back in prehistoric Kentucky, you were the fried chicken. This Troglocladotus may seem like your average 12-foot-long shark, but it was much deadlier. Its teeth resembled tridents, which were perfect for stabbing. If you get a shark bite from this goober, there's a good chance you're never going in the water again. And here we are in Louisiana. Combine a dolphin with a great white shark, and this is basically what you get. The Zygoriza. This early cetacean would have just made a quick bite out of you, just a chunk. But there's one tiny, just a teeny little tag-along. These 17-foot-long early whales, they hunted in groups. So you definitely get multiple chunks bitten out of you. We're going way up north for this next one in Maine. Aw, woolly mammoth. There's no way that's ever hurt anybody. Hey, you ever seen this picture before? Or perhaps this one? Elephants do some pretty messed up things. Let's start with those tusks that can skewer you like a kebab. You could easily be skewered by a female trying to protect her young. You might be thinking, well, males sound fine then. No. Males experience something called must, which is a boost in testosterone during mating season. This makes them more aggressive towards each other and other animals. So you're just generally not safe around these things. And welcome to crab country, aka Maryland. This is the Astrodon. It was a sauropod, so a plant eater, but I hope you've learned by now that you should not trust the plant eaters. Look at this illustration of a young Astrodon protecting itself from some raptors. That's a young Astrodon. As adults, they weighed 30 tons and measured up to 80 feet long. That's an angry herbivore you do not want to cross. Now let's move on to a tinier creature for a tinier state, the Podokesaurus of Massachusetts. Podokesaurus was tiny, being only about the size of a wolf, which, yes, kind of big, but small for a dinosaur. But still, it hunted in packs. Alone, they hunted small animals, but together, I can't imagine what horrors they'd pull off. They're already known for being swift and light-footed, so blink and you'll miss it. You're on the ground surrounded by Podokesauruses. Sorry, Massachusetts. Today, Michigan's great bodies of water are the Great Lakes. However, back in the Devonian period, it was one Great Lake, or an ocean, I should say. An ocean inhabited by such a horror. Dunkleosteus, a bony fish that may have only been 10 feet long, but it was still a stone-cold killer. It was a top predator covered in bony plates. It had no teeth, but instead self-sharpening bony plates. This thing was all bony plates, and you mess with it, you face the bony plates. But did I mention there was one other predator it feared? That predator was itself. That's right, Dunkleosteus was a cannibal. Its bony plates could chomp through someone else's bony plates, so no one's bony plates were safe. Why is it all bony plates? Well, comment what creature you got, and if your state hasn't been covered yet, I'll see you in part 3 or 4.